a llegar a un acuerdo que tengamos en San Diego, control de rentas. ¿Por qué estamos luchando?
Control de rentas.
And to create a democracy, because we do not have a democracy. We cannot call ourselves a democracy, because in a democracy, you have the right. You have the right to have a roof over your head. And if you do not have a roof over your head, you cannot participate in the democracy. And so today we are fighting for much more than just rent control. We are fighting for the essence of democracy. I want to tell you all that as a teacher, as part of the teachers union, I'm going to call on my teachers union to support the San Diego rent control movement. As a school board member of the South Bay Union School District, I will do what I can to put in a resolution and then later a school board policy where we would, as a school board, be advocating and fighting for the right to have a roof over your head. Because we cannot say that we love our students, that we love our kids, that we believe in education, if our kids do not have a roof over their head. And so, I'm here in solidarity with you all, and more importantly, in solidarity with the people that are going through these horrible conditions in the richest country to have ever existed on this earth. This cannot be a reality, but sadly it is. And because it is a reality, we understand full well that this is intentional, that this is racism, that this is classism, that this is also part of our patriarchal system that institutionally marginalizes women and families in this capitalist system that we have.
I'm just so proud to be here. I'm an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation here in San Diego. And I've been doing this kind of work for the last 3 years and just talking to people, talking to renters. I can't even imagine the struggle that you have all had to just experience living in these kind of conditions from a greedy landlord, a greedy corporation basically that wants to just abuse and abuse and abuse and take and take and take without any accountability. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to just really appreciate the history that everyone is building on here, that they're a part of right now, taking back their power, and as the compañero said, being a part of this system that and trying to change it from the ground up, being a part of something that a lot of times is not incentivized, that's actually put a lot of blocks in front of us to try and make us not organized, to not come together, to see us all as separate beings just kind of coexisting. But to see this kind of stuff in action, to see people who are just fed up, who are done with these kind of abuses come together, it's an important thing that there's a reason why there's SDPD and other sort of people here watching. I'm sure the landlords, I'm sure these companies that are here who have a profit to make from our exploitation have something to say about this. But it's important that they see that it's people's children, it's people's elders, it's their parents, it's them who are coming out here to say no more, and they want real improved living conditions and real material gains if the rents are going to keep on going up and if they're going to keep being exploited. So I just want to say that the Party for Socialism and Liberation stands in solidarity with your struggle here. We're happy to be here with you, and we're looking forward to more continued rent strikes, more mobilizations of our communities to keep on pointing out these contradictions that are presented to us, that are pushed upon us, and ultimately that are constantly exploiting us.
We're sick and tired of working and working and working and never getting ahead. Rent control at 2% is more than just talking about tenants' rights. We're talking about workers' rights. We're talking about getting some progress because they keep raising the rents, they keep raising the prices on everything else. And at the same time, they keep on exploiting us more and more and more and more. They remove our rights, whether it's to education, whether it's to reproduction, whether it's to health, or even basic number one fundamental housing. This is an attack. This is an affront to working people. So we're gonna move in a few minutes. We're just trying to make sure they get the message, because this is a movement, and they're not gonna be able to stop it by buying people off. We're committed to this cause. We're committed to making sure we have a better future. And we're not gonna let the fascists just roll over us, because the past that. We're past that. They've been rolling over us. Enough is enough. You know, the capitalists know we can't afford those gouging rent increases because they know they're not paying us those wages. They know they're taking more and more. This is why this is a class war.
Ah! Now that I got your attention, welcome to all my new comrades who might be coming over from the non-compete channel, and also to my old comrades, welcome back. Today, well, first I want to mention that my microphone has a little beanie that I made him. Isn't it adorable? And also, one more thing before I move on. If you like what you see, if you're happy with the stuff that I make on this channel, hey, don't be shy and, talk to the rest of BreadTube and... Watch me! Watch me, please! Just kidding. There we go. All leveled out. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Anyway, the topic of today's episode will be for Aaron Albrighton, or Albrighton. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name properly. I could be doing it wrong. Let me know, buddy. The topic, back on track, will be how to revolutiate. Wait, wrong language. How to revolution. Wait. Still wrong language. I got this. How to revolution. No, still wrong language. How to revolution. Also, if any of you speak one of those languages, Spanish, Russian, or German, I'm not saying that those are the wrong languages. That's not what this means. First, I'm going to be starting with the basics, the fundamental steps that will lead towards the building of alternate structures to challenge the state and capital interests of the status quo. Also, if you're curious about the footage that I used in the beginning of the video and that I'll be placing intravenously throughout the rest of the video, that was footage from a tenant strike that was held in San Diego by various socialist organizations and also a tenant union. It's good stuff. Essentially, they're protesting their landlord for terrible living conditions and for the fact that rent has skyrocketed. Things suck. First and foremost, although I'm showing footage of a protest, I am by no means stating that protest in and of itself holds revolutionary potential. Protest does serve an important function. It is there for exposure, for morale and solidarity, for gauging numbers, and for showing off those numbers, but a revolution will never be successful through protest alone. The left needs to be invested in a leftist politics. The rest of this video will be heavily influenced by Bookchin and Libertarian Municipalism. To reiterate, the political realm is just as important as the economic realm in any given social structure. Just as we need workers democratically owning the means of production, we also need to be building an alternative political body not only representative of, but composed of all the members of our local communities. To do this, we need to take into consideration the following. 1. Acquire a dependable meeting place. Make sure it's affordable, preferably free, large enough for a large gathering, and in a convenient location. 2. Get the community involved. The most important thing is to fill your meetings with bodies. This means that you're going to have to get to know your community. You have to find out what they want, what they need, and you have to find a way to provide that. Remind the people of your community that they have an incentive to participate politically in the community that they live in. Collective mutual aid is the best way to get their needs met. There are many ways to get in touch with the members of your community. You can go door to door, you can host or attend a large event and inform those that attended about your plans and the scheduled meetings of the popular assembly. Or you can find out if there are existing organizations dedicated to bringing the members of your community together and bring them aboard. The sky is the limit. 3. Host regular meetings regardless of size or traction. It is overwhelmingly likely that most people in your community will not attend your first meeting. Be persistent, and eventually the number of attendees will grow. 4. Set an agenda. Make sure you have a list of topics to discuss, ranging from setting policy, addressing community issues, developing solutions, starting sustainability projects like community gardens, or anything else that will allow for complete autonomy. Remember, the idea is to become an independent institution, no longer reliant on the state or capital, or mobilize for key strategic political action. Your popular assembly will soon be a unified force to be reckoned with, even more so when a network is created with popular assemblies formed in surrounding areas. 5. For the love of God, vote. We have to set a precedent for the future democratic society we wish to create, and you can't create a democracy without a democratic framework or foundation. If you feel that the people in your community aren't well informed or lack the necessary educational context, you can host classes, training seminars, or informative presentations. Number 6. This last point is going to be optional advice, for the reason being that it tends to be controversial. Historically, every socialist experiment has fallen victim to an external threat. Often, this threat comes in the form of an onslaught of military force sent by nations with the capital interest of suppressing socialist experiments, lest it convince its citizens that there might actually be an alternative to capitalism. I would suggest, in order to keep your community safe and secure, that you arm your fellow community members. Obviously, you should put it up for vote, and if it is exceptionally concerning among your members, you can choose not to. Or you can store them somewhere safe for emergency. It's up to you. This is really a rather skeletal list of things to get you started. Obviously, there will be many more conditions to consider, and variable factors due to differences between communities, and the material conditions that they find themselves in. This will necessitate improvisation on the part of the activists. One thing that I don't want to sugarcoat is that this will require a lot of work. Revolution is work, but if we can pull ourselves together, we can make anything happen.